Good morning from Big Sky Country. I'm Stacy, owner of Montana Used Bricks. And today I'm doing another this and that video. I'm actually going to be responding to some comments that have come in the last 4 months. That's how far behind I am on comments. But I'm laughing because I just realized I'm having a really weird hair day and my hair is like sticking all over the place. And usually I don't care, but today it's driving me crazy. So before I get started, I went to Walmart this morning. My husband and I always go to Walmart first thing on Saturday mornings. And I picked up a Lego set because I could not resist. And I got this Creator 3-in-1 set with the little kitty cat. Anybody who's watched most of my videos knows that I got into this because a friend of mine gave me a set that was a Lego cat that came out in 2014, maybe 2013, that time frame. And that really was kind of the catalyst to really get me into Lego. So when I saw this, I just felt like I had to have it. The other thing I wanted to mention, and I had thought about this in the past, and I was talking to my coworker. He gave me a whole bunch of Lego this week, and I was mentioning the resale value. And this really got me to thinking because a while back I had bought a bulk lot off of eBay, and I believe the seller had put in the comments that they weren't complete sets. She had picked them up at a church sale. They had been donated by a family. So that got me to thinking, so this family had bought these sets for their kids, donated it to this church sale. So this lady bought it. And then she came home, posted it on eBay, knowing the value of what Lego costs, and I bought it. So now this Lego has been sold 3 times. So I, of course, part it out, sell those parts. And somebody comes into my store to buy it. Now it's been sold 4 times. And then I got to thinking, well, most likely a lot of these people that are buying parts from me are completing sets. And some of these people are completing sets to resell on eBay again, or on Bricklink. So now these parts have been sold originally to this family. This lady bought them at a church sale. I bought them on eBay. Somebody bought them from me on Bricklink, and they could possibly be sold a 5th time. And it's just amazing to me that these parts could be resold so many times. It's just mind-boggling to think how many times these parts could possibly be resold, because who knows what the people are going to do with it in the future. And it could be resold many more times to come. When people talk about the resale value of Lego, this is why. It can be resold so many times. And if you take care of it, it's going to be like new when you resell it. So just a food for thought kind of thing for the day. I keep bumping the table this camera's on, so I'm sorry that it keeps wobbling. I'll try not to bump the table anymore. I have 4 or 5 questions that came in on the comments. Some of them are referring to videos I did quite a while ago, and I keep mentioning this, but I do read the comments when they come in, but I don't really sit down to respond to them very often, which I really should, because I really do appreciate everybody who takes the time to watch my videos. So just know that even if I don't respond right away, give it about 2 or 3 months and I'll respond. So the first one came in quite a while ago, and this was after Lego had introduced their buyback program. What's your thoughts on Lego Brick Take Back program? Maybe this could be content for a new video. Looks like they will take up to 45 pounds at $6 a pound in the form of a Lego e-gift card, or $3.60 per pound for digital cash. And I have to admit, when I first heard about this, I did kind of worry a little bit. It's like, well, they're buying that back and then they can resell it again. It comes back to what I was just talking about, the resale of these. But I did read somewhere, I have not gone on and did my research, so I'm taking all of this with a grain of salt, and it's all secondhand to me, but I did read somewhere that they were giving the stuff they were buying back, they were giving as a donation to like hospitals and children's organizations. They can write that off on their taxes. Great for them. And I was a little bit worried that people would like, oh yeah, I want to get rid of my Lego. That's a great way to do it. And then I got to thinking, $6 a pound sounds great, but if you're getting rid of your Lego, I'm thinking the last thing you want to do is go out and buy more Lego. I could be wrong on that. I'm sure there are people who do that, and that's great. They're like me, they have a ton of Lego and they want to buy some sets on lego.com. Okay, I can see that. But I think a majority of the people that are selling Lego, they're looking for the cash. That's why you see so many of these bulk lots on eBay or Facebook Marketplace or even at garage sales. It's because they're looking for quick cash. They're not looking to get a Lego gift card or even digital cash. They want cash in hand, basically. Like I said, I was a little bit worried about it, but now I'm not so worried, especially since the last 4 months I've had at least 3 people say, hey, I got Lego, do you want to buy it? So I'm not too worried about it anymore. I don't think it's going to become a scramble to find used parts to put in my Bricklink store. That's my feeling on it, but as always, I would be interested in what you guys think, so please put a comment down below and let me know how you feel about that buyback program. So these next 2 are ones I've actually talked about before or done a video on them, but I just want to answer these questions right here in case other people don't want to take the time to search out those videos or watch those videos. I get it, time short. I need a better way to upload. What is the software you are using? Thanks. I use Brickstore, which I used to use Brickstock, but I don't remember the whole kerfuffle about why that got changed. But we use Brickstore. I especially love it now that they have the Bricklink, because getting stickered parts or oddball parts into inventory it's so much easier with Bricklink. And I did a video on that. You'll have to go back and search for that one, or I'll try to remember to put it in the description. But Bricklink is a game changer. And because I know how much work goes into doing a database like that, my husband is a database administrator. He's always amazed by how Brickstore works. Because of that, I do give some money each month to the software developer, just because I want him to know that I do appreciate what he's doing, because it is free software, but you can go into the software and find where you can donate. And I would highly recommend doing that, especially if you're using Brickstore every day like I am. It's a way to guarantee that we will have access to that. So you can just send them a couple of bucks every now and then and say, hey, appreciate what you do. The other one is, what is your filler box? I had a lot with my 80s and 90s damaged bricks. I am unsure what to do with them. So my filler box, when I originally started this, in fact, I mentioned it on a couple of videos, I called it my junk part box, but somebody said, oh, don't call them junk parts, call them filler parts, because creators will use those bricks as fillers in their big creations. So I have started calling it my filler box, not my junk part box. But basically they're all the parts that I can't sell in my Bricklink store because they're too scratched or faded or have ink marks on them or pry marks or whatever. And so they go into this box, and when I get 6 pounds, I bag them up and I put 2 pounds in a gallon Ziploc bag. And when I get 3 of those, then I put it on Facebook Marketplace. And I just did this last Sunday, and I posted it about 11:15, and by 11, I had 2 lots of 6 pounds each, and by 11:45, I had them both sold. And by 1:15, I had 40 bucks in my hand. I sell them for $20 for 6 pounds. I like doing this because, 1, I'm not throwing the bricks away, and 2, I'm recouping a little bit of the cost on the parts that I originally bought that I thought I would be able to put into my store. So it's a great way to sell them. I would suggest, if you're doing a garage sale, put them out in the garage sale, or put them on Facebook Marketplace or classifieds, whatever you feel comfortable doing. And I guarantee you that if you advertise it right, you will sell them within minutes. And I'm always very, very clear in my description that these are used Lego. In fact, I put 6 pounds of used in capital letters, Lego, and then I say in the description, these are used Lego, so they do have scratch, abrasions, fading, blah, blah, blah. So they're aware that they're not getting pristine bricks. And this is why I don't sell them on eBay, because I could probably resell a couple of pounds of them on eBay and probably get a little bit more money, but I think people wouldn't read the description and they would be disappointed when they got the bricks. So at least this way it's a mutual thing, it's local, and they can look at the bricks before they even purchase them if they're going to be really picky about it. I've never had anybody do that, nor have I had anybody come back and say, hey, these are damaged bricks, because I'm very clear in my description. I had to take a little break there. My husband came out. It's March Madness, college basketball season, and he prints out all the games that are playing so he can decide which ones he wants to watch. So I had to wait for him to print it out and come collect the paperwork. This next question is about the collectible minifigures. I was wondering about those collectible minifigs. From your experience, do these sell best as just minifig or rather with their respective accessories and stand? I have a bunch of them lying around but couldn't be bothered to look for all the accessories, as some of them are kind of hard to find. With the full set, I also feel it's kind of difficult to compete against sellers who sell the sealed bags. And I think this came up because of one of the Bricklink hauls that I did, where I was ordering minifigure accessories for some of the collectibles that my husband has, where he has the minifigure but not the accessories, and also because I am buying parts to resell on eBay. For the first question, we have never had an issue with selling just the minifig without the stand and accessories. On Bricklink, there's an inventory listing for collectibles without the stand and accessories. In fact, I just sold a collectible yesterday without that stuff, and people are happy just to get the collectible, and they will get the minifigure accessory on their own like my husband does. A lot of times when we buy the bulk lots, if there's collectible minifigures in the bulk lot stuff that we buy, he will keep the collectible minifigure, and then I will buy the accessory needed to go with it, so that he does have the full package of that collectible. And some of those accessories are very expensive. I've seen some of them go from $7, $10, $15 just for the little accessory that goes with the minifig. So there are quite a few of those that he does not have the accessories for. As for the second question on there about competing with sellers who have sealed sets, I think that was because I was buying parts for used sets that I'm going to sell on eBay. I have found that it is a little bit harder to sell used sets depending on what they are. Creator and city sets tend not to sell as well as like Star Wars sets that are used, but they eventually do sell. So I'm more than happy to put them on eBay and let them sit out there for a couple of years until the right buyer comes along. It's not affecting me at all by having it out there, and once it sells, it sells. And speaking of eBay, here's this next question. Do you have any experience with selling on Mercari compared to eBay? I had no idea what Mercari was. I had to look it up. I'd never heard of it until this post, and I've seen there was another post recently where somebody mentioned, why do you sell on eBay and not Mercari? I kept thinking, what the heck is that? I had to go look. So obviously I have no experience with Mercari. I have no interest in signing up to sell on Mercari. I'm happy with selling on eBay. It's a huge platform, and although we don't make a ton of money because we don't have a very big store over there, we do make some sales, and it's a nice way to kind of branch out and have some additional sales. So my last one was in reference to a question that I asked on a previous video. What do you do about stale inventory? I upload more parts so people have a reason to come buy the old ones. Which made me laugh. I think that is the perfect answer to that question, because I don't do anything with my stale parts. They just sit in my store. I've heard people that put them on sale and it brings people in and they'll end up selling more than just those stale parts, but eventually the parts sell. If you leave them in there long enough, they'll sell. And it always amazes me because I'll be looking at something going, I've got so many of those, what am I going to do with these? And usually within a week or two, those parts that I was kind of wondering what I was going to do with will sell. It's almost like I put it out there in the universe and a buyer heard it and comes to my store and buys those. I don't really do anything with stale inventory. I'm like him. I just keep adding to my store and eventually somebody will come along and go, oh, they also have this, and we'll buy some of that stale inventory. This video is going to be well edited. I cannot talk today for the life of me. I had my husband come in and interrupt something I was doing, and I know this is going to be a very choppy video, and I'm sorry. I just have those days where my brain and mouth are not working together, and this was one of those days. But if you did like this video, go ahead and give it that thumbs up. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.